Okay, real talk. If you've been asking yourself, am I ready to retire? Well, this video is for you. Look, I spent a big chunk of my life grinding, cubicle jobs, failed businesses, driving Uber at midnight, and cleaning windows at 5 o'clock in the morning. And for a long time, I thought that was just life. You work until you can't. That's what success looks like, right? Wrong. Here's what I've learned. Most people don't retire too early, they retire too late. And today, I'm going to give you 7 signs you might be able to retire earlier than you think. And some of these are going to hit close to home, and that's exactly the point. Let's start with the Sunday dread. You know the one. It's 6 p.m., you're watching football, and out of nowhere, your stomach just drops. Because Monday is coming. And your body knows it before the brain does. I used to get that knot in my stomach every single week. Cold calling strangers from a cubicle with a phone book. An actual phone book, guys. Yes, I am that old. And I kept telling myself, everybody feels this way. Well, guess what? They don't. And here's the thing nobody wants to talk about. That kind of stress doesn't stay at work. It eats dinner with your family. It watches your kids' hockey games. It lies in bed with you at 2 o'clock in the morning. I've been there. My stress got so bad that it led to daily drinking in my 30s, and I eventually ended up in rehab. Good news, I've been sober for 19 years. But I'm not going to pretend that it didn't happen either. Pay attention to the physical stuff too. The chronic fatigue, the back pain, getting sick way more than you used to. Studies consistently show that long-term job stress has real measurable effects on your health. Your mental health is not worth any paycheck, period. You've lost interest in your career. Remember when you first started out and the idea of getting promoted actually excited you? Yeah, me too. Now imagine your boss walks in and says, "Congratulations, you've been promoted." And your honest gut reaction is, "Great, more responsibility, more stress." That right there is a big sign. A promotion used to feel like winning. Now it feels like a longer sentence. Some people hit every goal they set. The title, the salary, the corner office. And then they look around and think, now what? That's not failure, guys. That's completion. And when your boss drops a new project on your desk, and instead of thinking, cool, a challenge, you think, oh God, not another thing, your brain is done. Genuinely engaged people get a little buzz from new projects. If you're rolling your eyes and counting down to lunch, your heart checked out a long time ago. Your body just hasn't gotten the memo yet. Your priorities have shifted. Everybody zones out at work sometimes. That's just being human. But if you're always sitting at your desk, fantasizing about traveling, learning to golf, finally finishing that basement, or just picking your grandchild up from school on a Tuesday, and that version of life feels more real to you than anything happening in that office, your priorities have already changed. Your brain is just waiting for the rest of you to catch up. I'll also say this for my fellow Gen Xers out there. When the office is full of 25-year-olds talking about things you generally don't understand, and the company culture feels like it was built for someone 20 years younger than you, that generational gap is real and it's exhausting. You're not being a curmudgeon. You've just evolved past that environment. And that's okay. When I became a dad, everything changed for me. Suddenly, I didn't want a bigger title or a better commission check. I just wanted to be present, to not miss the stuff that doesn't come back. If relationships and experiences mean more to you than any career milestone at this point, that's not laziness, that's wisdom. And look, I want to hit pause for a second because that shift in priorities I just talked about, that's exactly what led me to YouTube. Here's what nobody warned you about in retirement. It can be repetitive. It can be boring. Tell me if this sounds familiar. It's Tuesday at 11. You've reorganized the garage twice and you started watching Yellowstone for the 3rd time. Everything you've learned over 30 years, the wins, the mistakes, the hard lessons, that's a legacy. And YouTube is how you share it on your own schedule, in your own words, from anywhere. Here's what most people miss though. A good idea with nobody watching, it makes exactly $0. The real game is attention and solving real problems. And YouTube, when done right, is your distribution channel. And I know this isn't for everyone, but if you're serious and you've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel, schedule a discovery call with me today. Click the link below in the description or in the pinned comment and book your call. Now, this one may be obvious, but you're financially ready. If you've got savings, low to no debt, and this is key, income streams that don't require you to show up every day, you might already be in retirement mode without realizing it. Now, I am not a financial advisor, so make sure you check with a licensed professional, a financial advisor, before making any kind of financial decision. And here's something a lot of people don't realize. When your house is paid off or close to it, the amount you actually need each month drops dramatically. Most people overestimate what they need in retirement because they're calculating based on their current expenses. And once you've checked the financial boxes, something interesting happens. You realize you still need a reason to get out of bed in the morning. And that's not a bad thing. That's actually the best problem you'll ever have. Next one, you're low-key jealous of retirees. Guilty. And be honest with me for a second. When your buddy tells you he retired at 55 and he's spending his mornings on the golf course, your reaction is good for him, followed immediately by a quiet, burning resentment. Sound familiar? Jealousy is a compass. It points you directly at what you actually want. So don't ignore that. And let me ask you this. Are you following YouTube channels and social media accounts about people who retired early? People who sold everything and moved to Costa Rica? Couples doing the RV life across the country? Well, that's not entertainment. That's aspiration. Your brain is doing the research for you. And here's one nobody talks about. If your spouse or partner is already retired and you're still grinding away on Zoom calls, resentment can creep in from both sides. They feel guilty having fun with you, and you feel trapped watching them live freely. That friction, that's a sign worth taking seriously. Your work no longer feels relevant. The world is changing fast, and I mean fast. AI alone is reshaping entire industries. And if you're sitting in a role where you can feel the ground shifting under your feet and the thought of retraining yourself for the third time sounds absolutely exhausting, that's a legitimate signal. Not everyone wants to keep reinventing themselves professionally at this stage of life, and that's a completely reasonable position to be in. Also, when you stop feeling like your work matters, the hollowness adds up. I've talked to a lot of people who are technically successful, but feel completely empty because their work stopped meaning anything to them years ago. And here's one that might actually make you laugh. If your company is slowly automating your job and your honest reaction is, honestly, good, take my job, that might be the universe giving you a very clear off-ramp. And honestly, that's exactly why YouTube works so well at this stage of life. Your experience is the content. You don't need to reinvent yourself. You just need to share what you already know. If you haven't scheduled your discovery call with me, do it now. Click the link below in the description or in the pinned comment. You're working out of fear, not purpose. This one is the most important, and it's the one most people won't admit. There's a big difference between working because you're building towards something exciting and working because the thought of not working terrifies you. If you're financially set, savings, investments, multiple income streams, but you're still grinding purely out of fear of running out of money, that fear deserves a closer look. Sometimes it's legitimate. Often it's a money mindset issue that no paycheck is ever going to solve. One more year syndrome. One more year to pad the savings. One more year to hit the next milestone. One more year just in case. And then 5 years go by. If you keep moving the goalpost every time you get close, ask yourself honestly, is the number the real issue or is it fear? Because no number will ever feel like enough if the underlying anxiety isn't addressed. Look, I'll be straight with you. I spent years in survival mode, worried about money, barely making ends meet, even after things completely turned around for me. That survival mindset didn't automatically update. If your financial advisor, your spouse, and your spreadsheet are telling you that you're good, and the only voice saying you're not ready is the scared version of yourself from 15 years ago, it might be time to let that guy retire too. And look, I didn't build my life around working less because I was lazy. I did it because I realized that time is the one thing you can never get back. And I was done trading it for a paycheck that was making somebody else rich. If any of these signs hit home for you, don't brush it off, pay attention to it. You've worked hard enough. You've earned the right to ask the question. And please let me know which sign or signs resonated with you in the comments. I would love to hear what you think. And if you want more information on retiring early and life in retirement, check out one of my videos up here. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.